What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream. Bitcoin's breaking out right now on the screen. You can see we're at 109.6K. I've been tracking this kind of pattern that Bitcoin's been in now for quite some time, since essentially we had this pump coming out of the Liberation Day crash, right? If you guys remember, we had that Liberation Day crash, then we had the pump coming out of the tariffs as we saw kind of de-escalation. And then we kind of stalled out, right? We've been stalling out. It's been a bit boring now for a few weeks. Yes, we made some great gains here and there. We made a nice 5x on Cyan. We made some nice X's on Say and Aerodrome. But now we are actually getting some form of a confirmation in terms of a breakout. Now, we need to obviously wait and see. It could end up being a fake out. We need to see, how this chart looks in a day, and obviously at the weekly close, which is always the most important point. But looking at it on a surface level, it looks very, very good. We're at 109.5, and you can see that we're actually getting a break above this resistance downward sloping line, which is really, really good. We were putting in lower highs and lower lows, which isn't necessarily a bullish thing, but finally we're putting in a bit of a nice breakout. Okay. And the altcoin market is responding pretty positively to that right now. If we go and look at the altcoin market currently, you can see, virtuals is pumping a lot. I'm already up right now 3x on virtuals. And if you guys are in the VIP, you would have been up 3x on virtuals as well, because we were buying that thing down around the 50-cent region. And you can see, across the board, we're seeing some nice gains with the altcoins. Sui up 8%, up 9% now. Great to see a little bit of upward movement there in Sui. I was telling you guys on the last live stream that Sui was a great buy in that golden pocket. Now we've actually got out of the golden pocket and we are moving up. So, across the board, I'm seeing some very positive signs in the market. Obviously, it's still maybe too early to tell whether this will be the breakout that essentially brings us to all-time highs, but we'll have a really good estimation of this once we see, obviously, the daily close today, and maybe by the point of the weekly close, we might even be at all-time highs. And, what's really funny is yesterday, there was a few people in my Discord group getting a little bit, let's say, impatient about the markets, okay? A little bit impatient. They weren't necessarily seeing the pumps they would have hoped for. And I was telling them, that's exactly what the market wants you to do. They want you to sell out of impatience. They want you to sell and buy back in essentially higher. So you pump the bags of the institutions. And I actually put a post in the Discord during that time when people were, not everyone, but a couple guys are kind of freaking out a little bit because of the boredom in the markets. I actually went and put a post and I said, while everyone's bearish right now, I'm going to make a bold prediction. All-time high for Bitcoin this month. That was when we were at 104 or whatever it was, and people thought we were going back down into the 90s, some people. I said, I think we're going to hit all-time highs this month, and it looks like we will, okay? And I've been tracking this macro trend line here on Bitcoin for a very long time. If we put Bitcoin on the weekly, you'll be able to see we've had this major macro trend line that's been, in play for basically 8 years. And I believe the next point of resistance, once we kind of, close above 109K, will be this macro trend line, which will be around 115, 116K. That is the next potential level of resistance where we may see a bit of a sell-off. Until then, I remain comfortably macro bullish on Bitcoin, and I also remain very bullish on altcoins. Why am I so bullish right now on altcoins? It is because BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Look at where it is. It's just rejected at that 66% level, which I've been talking about now for many, 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 many months. I said once we got above this golden pocket, the next level would be the 786. And look at what we're doing. We're rejecting at that fib level. The last time Bitcoin dominance interacted with a fib level was during the November rally, which saw us make massive gains on coins like Sui. That was the last time Bitcoin dominance interacted with a fib level, and it had a brutal rejection from a level of 61% all the way down to 54%. I think something similar is potentially going to happen here, in my opinion. I want to make that clear. Another coin which is doing really well right now is Peak. And, that's obviously off the back of a massive downtrend that it's had. But I also believe Peak has just had a breakout. The chart for this one's looking pretty good. I made a video just a few days ago talking about my top layer ones, and Peak was in that video. So you had a nice little opportunity to buy it down, around 7 cents or whatever it was when I made that video. But these are my top altcoins right now. And, not a lot has changed in terms of my preference, to be quite honest with you. I still like Sui. I still like Arrow, Casper, Tau, Ondo, Sei, and Render in that order of preference right now. And, yeah, pretty bullish on the markets. Also, just to change the topic a little bit, I saw a ton of people on the live streams lately shilling Blaze out of their minds. And I was telling them, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the people who are discussing it. Only for a couple days later, it to absolutely rug. Okay? You could go on one of my last live streams. I think it was my last one. Maybe I think I took the live stream down because it was lagging a lot, but maybe on the live stream before as well. People were asking me constantly, Archie, what do you think of Blaze? What do you think of Blaze? It's the next new meme. I said, I don't like it. This is yet again, another time I've been vindicated by not liking a coin. I quite often get a lot of hate when I bash a coin, when I say I don't like it. But 9 times out of 10, I get proven right. Look at that chart. It's complete and utter rug, okay? And look, I get it. Sometimes in crypto, you buy a meme, it doesn't go to plan. But I saw this one in particular coming. I saw it coming, days and days and days in advance. I saw it coming. So this is something I really want to kind of stress here is if you look at a meme, it's got no exchange listings like this one does. The shady things when you look at the addresses and stuff like that, it's just going up only, and there's not really a reason why other than the fact that YouTubers are talking about it. That should be a very strong cause of concern. And it was for me. And I told people in my VIP group who were holding this, get out now while you can. I said, get out now while you can. And I've saved them a lot of money. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Hopefully now everyone can keep quiet about Blaze and not start shilling it on my channel. I found it quite funny, actually. Someone put, it's going back up. People said the same thing about that when Luna happened. Okay, when Luna crashed, I remember people saying, it's fine, guys. It's going to come back, Do Kwani's going to do his thing. He's going to help it. I remember that. And the same people said that about Luna, and it basically just withered away. So if you got rugged by this, just move on. Just accept it, and maybe allocate sensibly next time. Or don't put your money in a coin that certain people are talking about who maybe have certain track records. So that's my point of view on that. But anyway, on to more positive things. The picks that I'm currently holding are doing exceptionally well. And one of them is Millie. Okay, Millie is flying. This is a degen bet for me. And guess what? This meme coin has a MEXC listing. I'm not just making up out of my ass that there's going to be a Binance listing tomorrow. I'm not saying there will be a Binance listing anyway, but I'm not just throwing around random claims. Binance listing coming soon or anything like that. It's already got MEXC. It looks decent. And this is a meme coin on Sei. So I believe Millie has a good amount of potential here. It's at a 3 million market cap. And it's the #1 dog meme on Sei. And I'm pretty bullish on Sei, as you guys know. So, yeah, I wouldn't be underestimating that narrative, meme coins on Sei. We saw how high some of the memes went on Sui. And I'm going to show you really quickly right now, just a comparison. Again, I'm not saying it will go there. But let me just get my mouse here. So If we search Millie, okay, and then we go, what was the number one meme on Sui? It was Hippo. So Hippo, Sudang. If Millie goes to Hippo's all-time high, it's an 80x. Okay, I'm not saying it will happen. I don't even think it will happen. But what I'm trying to show you here is the potential that some of these meme coins on Say potentially have. Now, I'll be way out by the time I get a 5x, a 10x, I'll be taking profits anyway, because you guys know I do that with memes. I don't hold them till 100x. I sell them early. I've got a very good strategy with meme coins, and I've got a very, very good track record with meme coins. I made a 12x on Mumu. I made multiple X's on Ponky. I made multiple X's on Sigma, Harambe, Skibbity, multiple back-to-back-to-back 2 to 3X's. And this is the thing, guys. A lot of influencers, they're going to tell you, just buy this meme coin and you'll 100x your money. You shouldn't wait for 100x. It's the idiots who are diamond handing, holding forever. The smart people, they get a 3x, they get a 4x, they get a 5x, they flip it into the next one, do the same thing. It's the idiots who are trying to hold for 100x or more. Okay? The people who have brains, they realize that all you need is a couple 5x's back to back, and you're making crazy gains because of the compounding effect, because you're duplicating the gains. You don't need to hold the same thing all the way for 100x. So I have a very specific strategy with meme coins. It's not the same as a lot of influencers. But yeah, as I say, could Millie go and do an ATX? It's possible. But would I be holding it until then? Absolutely not. I would have taken profits way before then. And I'm very transparent about when I take profits in the VIP group. Whenever I buy something, whenever I sell something, I post it exactly in real time in the VIP group. And I've got a very, very good track record. Yes, every now and then, a coin I'll talk about won't go to plan, won't do as well as I thought. But the vast majority of the time, they do pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking at Bitcoin here on this daily chart, and it looks really, really solid, man. Looks really good. But anyway, I'm going to get into the comments now. Get your questions in, guys, in the chat. Appreciate you all being here today. Smash the likes on the stream as well if you're just tuning in. Market's doing good, which is always a good thing. Let's try and aim for 400 likes by the end of the day. That would be amazing if we could get that. I'm relieved to see you still have the backwards K in your thumbnails. Yeah, I'm still bullish on Casper, okay? People think I'm bearish on Casper. All I've said is I don't think it's going to $1 this year. That's all I've said. I used to think it would go to $1 this year, but I changed my tune. Guess what, guys? You're allowed to change your opinion in crypto. You're allowed to change your opinion. I used to think $1 Casper this year. Now I think a bit less, okay? Why do I think that? Because of the chart. The chart's telling me that. I don't just find a random number and say that's where I think it's going to go to. I look at the chart and I let the chart teach me, if that makes sense. I try and look at it very objectively. What red flags did you see in Blaze that deterred you from buying in the first place? The people who were shilling it, first of all. And second of all, the fact it had no exchange listings, yet it had a high market cap. Just common sense. And you just do some digging into the wallets and you can see some shady stuff going on. Doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to realize when a project's a scam. This is the most obvious scam I've seen in crypto. And I said that. I said that to the VIPs. I said it on the live stream. People criticized me for that. People said, you don't know what you're talking about. Look at it now. Not trying to rub salt in the wound, okay? I'm not really trying to do that. Maybe a little bit. No, I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do such a thing. But look, you need to learn your lesson in crypto. If you're buying coins like this with no exchange listings, you're going in heavy because some influencer told you to. You need to learn your lesson. Okay. I'll never tell you to go and throw your whole portfolio into a meme or anything like that. But the reason it annoyed me, okay, the reason why I even mention this, because usually I just don't even get involved. I just don't care about other coins, to be honest. But the reason why I got frustrated about this is I did a live stream, and I would say about 20% of the comments were people shilling Blaze, and that just rubbed me the wrong way. So that's why I thought I should mention it, because I could see the warning signs. I mentioned it, and people still didn't listen to me. Does the market want you to flip? What do you mean? Archie the GOAT, thank you. Freaking bullish market, short squeeze is happening, and dominance may have topped. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Market's looking bullish right now. I was just in a call with the VIPs earlier, and I was saying, I think we're going to break out today, or like this week. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're going to break out in July, early July. And I was really bullish. And as I was saying that on the call, like an hour later, a couple hours later, we checked the Bitcoin chart and it's at 109.6 or 109.5, whatever it was. It's breaking out. So that's great to see. And one of the coins I was telling people about when it was down here, Ondo, is starting to see a nice little move up as well. Ondo is seeing a nice 27% move since I was talking about it on the channel, mentioning why it would be the #1 coin I would buy. So hopefully you guys stack some Ondo in the 60s. That was a great opportunity there. But yeah, I'm watching Bitcoin very closely right now, and I'm watching Bitcoin dominance also very closely, because Bitcoin dominance, guys, is dropping. It's dropping, and it's a very important thing to see. I don't think the notification went out for this live stream, because usually there's more people watching the stream than this. Did you guys get a notification for the stream? But anyway, smash the likes on the stream, guys. Please do hit the likes. 33 likes, 119 people watching. Let's get those likes up. That would be amazing. But yeah, I do agree. There's a lot of short positions still open in altcoins. And that's what I think is going to potentially bring Ethereum up to 4K, is, partly a short squeeze and partly this whole tokenization narrative. You're seeing a lot of discussion in the mainstream about tokenization. If you guys don't know, Robinhood just announced that they are going to be tokenizing OpenAI and SpaceX in Europe. And they're basically going to be making their own layer 2 chain dedicated to tokenizing tokenizing stocks, okay, and private stocks. So not just public stocks, but also private stocks, such as obviously OpenAI and SpaceX. This is massive. This is massive for crypto. This is massive for Robinhood. So I'm a big believer now in this whole tokenization narrative and RWA, and that's why I've been talking about Ondo so much lately. The two dominant narratives of this cycle so far have been stablecoins. I mean, earlier on it was AI and memes, but I mean, in the last couple of months, the two main dominant narratives that have been discussed have been stablecoins and tokenization. I think those two narratives are going to be here to stay, and they're going to have effects on the crypto market itself, not just the stock market. Because right now, the stocks are the things that are seeing the benefits based on these narratives. But I think, in the coming weeks, we're going to see that trickle down into crypto. they're just kind of laying the seeds, right, with stock market investors, giving out some of the information to them, and then eventually they'll start pushing the blockchains themselves rather than the companies. Yeah, man. Anyone who has made their own crypto coin, I don't listen to. I mean, I don't listen to anyone anyway, right? I don't listen to anyone else anyway, but there are a few decent influencers in this space. I'm gonna say that it's not just me. Okay, there's some guys out there who are decent influencers, but one thing that deters me from any YouTuber is if they've made their own coin. That for me is a red flag. I think Pete can do something crazy. Yeah, I agree. Pete looks solid. Say $1 possible. For sure, $1 is possible. Say pump from 15 cents to 30 cents in like a couple weeks. So for sure it could hit $1 per coin. But you probably should be selling before then anyway, right? You shouldn't wait until $1 to take profits. Being in the VIP for a week, and I have to say it's a breath of fresh air. Totally worth the price. Wow, thank you. Henry, man, I appreciate the kind words about the VIP. And I'm going to use your kind words to promote it a little bit. Okay. So I do highly recommend if you're interested in a group that has 24/7 alpha, and if you want to track what I'm doing in the markets in real time, I highly recommend you get in. Every single review I've ever had is 5 stars. And my results, they speak for themselves. So you can see here, just I'll give you a little glimpse. So I was in the voice chat earlier. There was about, I'd say 50 or 60 people in the voice chat. Right now, there's only a few people in there talking. But even while I'm live, I mean, these guys really, they should be watching the live stream, but maybe they want to talk about something crypto related. They're in the voice chat. They're talking about the markets 24/7. It never sleeps. This group is constant. It literally never ever sleeps. There's people in here talking about the markets, looking for opportunities. It's an absolute no-brainer, guys. And the amount of money that's been made in this group is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Some of the recent calls, such as Cyan. Cyan did a 5x almost. I think a 4x, 4.5x. It's still up over 2x from my buy alert now. And it's consolidating. But I dropped the buy alert for this one at 2.0 down here. And then it pumped up crazy. So highly recommend people get in the group. We're spotting these opportunities before the rest of the crowd. And we're also spotting the rugs so that you guys, don't get rugged and don't buy absolute scam coins. Yeah, the next wave up on Say is going to be huge. I agree. You have to be able to change your opinion, in my opinion, 100%. People call you a hypocrite in crypto if you change your opinion. Or they just say you're not trustworthy or whatever, but you should be allowed to change your opinion. Like, yeah, I used to think Casper would go to $1, but I've changed that now. I've revised it. I'm still bullish on the project. I just don't think it's going to $1 this year. I just don't think time is on our side for that to happen. I'm sure, there's going to be a bunch of influencers giving you hopium to think that that's possible, but I just don't think that it's possible. Did you sell your Memecoin? Yeah, I sold that ages ago. What is your opinion on Wall Street Bet talking about Casper on Reddit? Very, very minimal effect, I think, for the price. But it's good. Obviously, anyone talking about it's good. Is gold still looking flat? Looked like it might have topped yesterday. I'm not going to look at gold on the stream, man, because it's not crypto related, but we do look at precious metals and stocks and all those different things in the VIP Discord on the voice chats. But I'm not going to look at it on the stream. What do I think of grass? Right now seems like it might be a good entry. Grass. Yeah, I saw this one the other day. It's got decent exchange listings. It's on crypto.com, which is, I would say, a tier 1. Did this used to be another project? Did this change its name, or was it always grass? Take a quick look at the chart. It's hard to know if this is a good buy right now because there's not really a lot going on. And if I look at this chart, it hasn't really pumped too much. I don't know, man. I'm not the biggest fan of the chart, but I'll take a deeper look at it. I'll take a deeper look at it at some point. But I've seen better looking charts. Any opinions on Wall Street bets? Talking about Casper. Yeah, I discussed that before. Thanks for the donation, though. It's not hard to click the like, guys. It's a pretty good deal for the alpha. Appreciate that. Yeah, smash the likes. What are your thoughts on Morpho? I'm very bullish on Morpho. I think it'll do good. That borrowing and lending narrative, it is boring as hell, but it's a serious narrative that could have some mainstream, institutional adoption. Because the Trumps, they like DeFi. I've listened to Eric Trump talk before about DeFi. He hates the financial system how it is currently. And I just think they're going to push DeFi a lot. I really do. I think this is going to be another DeFi summer. I'm very well positioned into DeFi right now. I've got Aerodrome as a DEX. I've got Say as a DeFi layer 1. So I'm bullish on DeFi and borrowing and lending and stuff like that. I'm expecting a whole flurry of RWA and tokenized assets announcements over the next weeks. Yeah, I agree. One of the key skills in crypto is the ability to try and spot a narrative brewing. And if there's ever been a more obvious narrative brewing than RWA, it doesn't make sense. There's never been a more clear narrative brewing than this. This is the clearest narrative I've ever seen in terms of the brewing effect. Like right now, you've got CNBC talking about it, Bloomberg talking about it. All the major news channels are talking about RWA, and they're all talking about tokenization and Robinhood, and it's in the works, guys. It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. Concerned about Ondo's top wallet holder having 62% of the supply. That will be a vesting contract. That won't be a wallet. That won't be just like a regular wallet. That will be a vesting unlock contract. Yeah, that's not... Look, that's a smart contract. You need to be able to determine what a regular wallet is and what a smart contract is. That is not a regular wallet. That is the vault where the tokens are for the release schedule. And you can see, if you just look at the market cap to FDV, Ondo's got a 2.5 billion market cap. The FDV is 8 billion. So obviously there's a lot of tokens that haven't come out yet. They need to have a position, right? That's where they are. They're in that account. So No, I'm not concerned. That's completely normal. I've seen it in 1,000 projects. I was more thinking that Bitcoin often runs after gold is topped. Oh, yeah. I'm not buying gold, just wondering if there's a good indicator. Yeah, gold's a good indicator for risk in a market. It's a good indicator to determine the level of risk in a market. You know, when gold pumps, it indicates risk off. When gold dumps, it indicates that risk is coming back because gold is a flight to safety. So if gold's doing well, the likelihood is altcoins are doing bad. If gold's doing bad, altcoins are probably doing good. So there's definitely an inverse correlation between gold and the altcoin market. Yo, VIP here. Do you think it's realistic that I can get a 5x out of Arrow and say from here on? Thanks to the knowledge, man. No problem. And I appreciate you being a VIP. Yes, I think Aerodrome and Say should both do a 5x. Maybe one of them does a 4x and the other does a 7x, and it balances out around a 5x. But I think both of those picks have potential to do that for sure. Especially if you got a good entry from the VIP. From here, it's possible for sure they do it, but if you got in when the VIPs did, 100% you're going to make a 5x easily. Let's just check up on Bitcoin, see what's going on. 109.4. 109.4, looking very bullish. Hopefully this doesn't turn into just a fake out and we wick back down. Hopefully this candle just stays above the trend line. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance is dropping here pretty hard, to be honest, considering, you know, what's going on. Bitcoin dominance now sat around 65.3%. And I told everyone to watch that 66% rejection. That's what we're getting right now. Been talking about that non-stop in the VIP group. What's the best buy today in the market? Great question. I would say that the best buy right now would be either Ondo or Say in the market currently. And if you want to go degen, if you want to be a bit of a degen, then I would buy some Milli. This is a really solid meme coin on Say. So if Say does a 5x, Milli might do a 30x, you know? So it's a good high risk, high reward play on Say. Like even today, Say hasn't actually pumped that much today, but Milli's up 16%. And I think that's just the beginning because this is only a 3 million market cap. So yeah, I'd go and get some Milli. I'd go and get some Sayan as well if you want another little degen play on Say. These are both obviously risky bets, but there's no harm putting a small amount into both of those because, you know, like I said, I think Say is going to explode this cycle. And if Say explodes, then the whole ecosystem will too, just like what happened with Sui when Hippo ended up going to a couple 100 million market cap. I mean, this comparison just says it all, right? Number one meme on Say, number one meme on Sui. ATX compared to the all-time highs. So if we get a little meme run and markets go risk on, then Milli is going to do a crazy run. And dominance is dropping here, which is a great sign. I think dominance definitely will see a sustained pullback now, as long as nothing crazy happens. We should see a bit of a sustained pullback now on BTC.D. But yeah, man, Virtuals is absolutely killing it right now. Virtuals 162 now. Are you more bullish on Milli or Sayan? Both of them, to be honest. But If I had to lean towards one, it would probably be Millie, because I already made a 4x on Cyan and took out my initial and a bit of profits. So I put some money into Millie. But yeah, both of them will do well. But if I was gonna buy one of them today, it would probably be Millie. But they're both kind of really, really good plays. What do I think of Prime? Echelon Prime? Just gaming's pretty dead right now. I do expect a comeback at some point, but the question is it going to be this cycle or next cycle? Gaming's been so bad, it's hard to know if it'll even have a proper sustained rally. The chart structure doesn't have much to go off, to be honest. It just keeps making new lows. Okay, it doesn't even have a nice double bottom formation. Like a lot of coins, they kind of had a double bottom here, like that. But Prime just made a new low. Like if you look at Walrus, like Walrus had a double, it has like a clear support level, you know, that it's respecting on the chart. I actually sent out a message to my mentor members on Walrus last night. It's a potential buy opportunity, Walrus on Sui. Now, full disclaimer, I don't have a bag of Walrus. But what I do, if you're in the mentor tier, I put out little mini alerts of opportunities, right? Potential, you know, trades, opportunities, whatever. You can see I put that out when Walrus was at 3.8. What was that? 3.8. Yeah, so I put that out when it was here. At the exact bottom. At the exact bottom, I put that out. And you can see we've had a nice little, you know, 12% pump in a day. Less than a day. So that's another perk that you get if you get on the mentor tier. And I want to just briefly mention the mentor tier here because I don't talk about it too much. But the mentor tier is basically everything you get in the VIP, but 10 times better. You get to, you know, privately message me. You get priority with any questions you've got. And one of the big things that are coming soon are the mentor meetings. The mentor meetings. And on the 10th of July, we've got a professional trader, professional technical analyst coming into the mentor tier to go over a full-on educational class on TA. Think of it like a live tutoring course, a live educational session on TA, going through everything you need to know. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you're more like me, you're going to learn a lot from this. Even I'm going to learn some stuff because this guy's levels above me when it comes to the charts. So I highly recommend you get on the mentor tier. 10th of July is going to be the meeting. It's much more professional than the regular calls we do on the VIP. We all get on, we have our face cams on. I mean, you don't have to do that, but it's good practice to do that because it's more intimate, you know, and it just is a very good place to be. So that's something for those of you who want to take your investing to the next level. But the VIP is a great starter package. You know, it gives you a lot, and the value for that is great as well. But yeah, man, the market right now looking fine. A little bit of a pullback here on Bitcoin, but that's expected after quite a good move. How close are all-time highs is the question. All-time highs are 2% away. 2.6% down from all-time high. But obviously, if we do it going up, yeah, 2.68%. And we're at all-time highs on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pumps just over 2%, we're at all-time highs. Crazy. All-time highs are very close. VIP here, could you check Chill Guy? Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Chill Guy as a little degen play. Looks quite good. I like the structure to it. Yeah, Chill Guy's a solid one. It's got some decent listings. It's got some decent listings, and it's a meme which is relatable. You know, it's like a popular meme. I like those memes which are real life, like viral memes, like pop culture, you know? Not just some random animal. Like, I like some animal memes, obviously. But I prefer it when the memes are less generic and they're more unique. Like, it's a real life meme, which people know. The Chill Guy meme is one which people know. So I think it'll do well. I like the listings on it as well. It's got crypto.com, which is a tier 1 exchange. So they've proven that they've got some money. They're not just all talk. I like it when a project, you know, they just get listings. They're not all talk. They're not saying they're going to be on a tier 1. They're not promising everything. They're just doing. I prefer it when projects do less promises and more actual action. Promises made, promises kept. You know, it's not true in crypto. Crypto projects make a bunch of promises and they essentially under-deliver on all of them 90% of the time. What memes am I looking at? I'm looking at NPC, non-playable coin that's on base. I'm looking at Ponky. I'm looking at Fartcoin. Fartcoin's not really moving too much today. And then for really degen memes, like ones that I think can do stupid gains, like crazy gains, I'll be looking at Millie, which you can get on Mexi. And I'd be looking at Cyan, which you can also get on Mexi. Those are both meme coins on the Say chain. You guys know I'm bullish on Say. So I think it's worthwhile to get a little bag of both of them. But yeah, I like the move that's going on right now with ETH BTC. You can see that Ethereum up 5.4%, BTC up 2.7%. And on the hour, Bitcoin's actually down whilst Ethereum's up. So I like what I'm seeing right now in terms of dominance, in terms of ETH BTC, in terms of Bitcoin itself. It's just had a nice little breakout above that downward sloping resistance trend line. And how about some of the major indexes? What about Total 3? How's that one looking? Yeah, so Total 3's... Is it at resistance? Why have I got this big line here? Let me zoom out. I'm going to go on the hourly. Yeah, so it's at a potential resistance point that we've hit quite a few times. If it gets above here, then it's looking really bullish. Yeah, this chart's a bit of a mess, guys. I do apologize. Yeah, so obviously we got the March highs here for Total 3. We kind of bounced off that. Let's see if we put a fib down here from the tariff crash to up here. You can see we came down to like the golden pocket. Now we're seeing a bit of a bounce. So Total 3 also looks good. I think, was it Cryptex? Did he just put out a chart alert in the VIP on Total 3? Let me just check. because we have a section in the Discord where you get alerted whenever something significant happens with a chart. You get alerted. Yeah, so he posted total 3. Put a full-on explanation here on the total 3 chart, and he explained his reasoning on why he's bullish. So, you know, guys, this is the best chance right now to get in the VIP because the price for it's going to be going up. I'm going to be increasing the price pretty soon. Maybe as soon as Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, I'm going to raise the price. I'm probably going to be raising it to around 150 a month. But if you're an existing member, you're not going to be subject to the price hike. So I recommend getting in now while it's pretty cheap. And another thing I recommend is going on a call with one of my closest consultants, representatives, whatever you want to call them. These guys are trained to go over your portfolios, and they're going to go through a document, a private document, which I've created, which goes through exit strategy and my current thesis on this bull run. They're going to go through all of that with you on the call. Highly, highly recommend it. It's going to get your portfolio in shape for the bull run. So book a call with one of my guys. They're going to help you out a ton. So yeah, let's see if there's any more comments. Please analyze Say. I'm bullish on Say. It's looking good. I can't get into VIP. Keeps having an error when I try and pay through WAP. That's pretty weird, man. I'll drop an alternative link to join. You can still technically join through Patreon if WAP doesn't work. So I'll post that for you in the chat. You can use this. Let me pull up the stream. Yeah, so I just posted in here the Patreon link. You can join through that if the WAP link isn't working. That's an alternative to join. Both get you in the group. Take a look at Stonks 9800. Appreciate the donation. I've heard of this one. It's tiny, right? Stonks 98. It's not even on Coin. I knew there was one called Stonks, but I didn't realize it wasn't even on CoinMarketCap. If it's not on CoinGecko, man, I'm not going to check it because it's just too degen. This is not a meme coin review channel. Stonks 98. Yeah, this is crazy low. I'm not going to review this one on the stream, man. If you want a actual micro cap review, then come join the VIP and I'll look at it there. I'm not going to be going through tiny coins on this stream. Thanks for the info. No problem. Yeah, I think Casper can hit a 5x. That's reasonable. The only issue with Casper, the chart has been not great for a while. So, you know, you either adapt and you downgrade your targets, or you stay in cloud cuckoo land expecting $5 when the chart has fundamentally switched. It's changed. Now, obviously, I adapt. But a lot of investors, they keep the same targets despite, obviously, the chart completely and utterly changing. Yeah, I think the beam chart has always looked pretty good. To be honest with you, man. Actually, no. It dropped below. Dropped below the support there. It's still got some structure to it, I guess. What's the Naka in your watch list? That's a gaming coin, Nakamoto Games. It's a gaming coin which I bought at like a 2 million market cap on the channel, and it pumped crazy. It pumped like 50x. I bought this thing at a 2 million market cap on the channel. You can go back and look at some of my old videos. It's at 35 million now, but I bought it at 2 million, and it shot up to like 250 million. Wow. Crazy. Unfortunately, I bought Casper at 14 cents before I started watching Archie. Yeah, I got into Casper at 3 cents. So if you're on this channel, you would have got it really early. But that's fine, 14 cents. By the time this market pumps, you will be in nice profits, I expect. But it's not the best entry level for sure. Rationale for say memes and not Sui memes? Yeah, good question. So I'm already extremely heavy in Sui in my portfolio. So I don't want to expose myself any further to Sui. Because I made so many X's on Sui, I don't want to buy Sui meme coins because I've already got like 30% of my portfolio literally in Sui. Whereas say, I haven't got 30% of my portfolio in it. It's more like maybe 10%, 15%, something like that. So it's a smaller percentage. So that's the reason. Plus, I think Sui memes are more saturated than Say memes. There's literally only 2 Say memes that even get talked about, whereas with Sui, there's quite a few. But Sui memes are fine. I just prefer the ones on Say, personally, as a buy for myself. Okay, we'll take a look at the Say chart, since you keep asking. And you are polite, you're not spamming, so since you're polite, I'll take a look. I mean, you are spamming, but you're spamming politely. You are spamming, but you're saying please, so I'll take a look. Yeah, so it hasn't seen a big pump today, which is weird considering how much momentum it had previously. But I do expect it to continue its move up. I do expect that to continue. It found its support at the 382 level, 26. And then before that, it found its support at 24. So it is technically structurally looking a bit better, right? In terms of the fact that it's making higher lows now. See? Higher low. So structurally, it's okay. It just needs to break its all-time high, and then we go back, or not its all-time high, its recent high, 33 cents, and then we go back into kind of some form of a price discovery mode. But Say's looking fine. And especially with dominance dropping and Bitcoin going up, I think that will benefit Say. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the stream today. I appreciate you all being here. Make sure to head on over to that VIP group because I've got some group calls to get into. We have these every single day, voice chats all the time. So I highly recommend you head on over there. And if you are a current VIP member, get in the voice chat. I'm going to be in there for a bit longer. I've been in there all day. I've been in the voice chat for 8 hours already, but I'm going to be in for another 8 hours because I'm sad. That's all I do is I do crypto all day. I'm 21 years old. I could be retired on a beach somewhere partying, but no, I do crypto all day because I'm boring. But that's my version of fun. So I'm going to be over there for the rest of the day, guys. Head on over to the voice chat. I'll be listening in, hearing what people are saying about the markets, looking for some gems, and making a ton of money. So check it out. And remember, if you want a couple degen plays, right now I think Cyan is a good one. And I also think Millie is a good one on Say. Both of them are on Mexi. Those are 2 little degen plays that I think can do quite good on this next pump. But yeah, hit the link in the description, get on the VIP. Book a call as well with one of my representatives if you want to talk about the markets, someone who knows what they're doing. They're going to go through a guide, which I created myself, talk you through it, and they're going to get your exit strategy in place as well, because that's a very, very important one, which many people are clueless on. Exit strategy. Booking a call, we'll go through your exit strategy, and you'll have a very good system in place so that you make a ton of money. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit the likes, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day, guys. Goodbye.